Hey, Shalom. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in Washington, D.C. Back for another video. But first and foremost, call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakahakwadash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, who are well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. All right, and a few Aquas that listen. Also, numerous videos that Akim put out there for everyone's edification. This all goes towards pushing the truth out across four corners of the earth in order to wake up our remaining, hopefully elect. All right, so here we have and Coulter in rare form, straight to the point, blunt as she is. All right, simply just tells the truth, and you'll get your reaction from, your Democrats, in particular this Robert Reich, who served in in a cabinet position in the Clinton administration. I forget exactly what it was, Secretary of Labor or some shit. Anyway, in fact, it's not too hard to look up. Hold on, let's see. Robert Reich. All right. Yeah, a younger picture of him, but let's see. He was, he was in the Ford administration and Carter. Secretary of Labor, yeah, I was right. Yeah, under Bill Clinton from 93 to 97, this guy right here. All right. So let's see Ann Coulter and all her glory here. And she, on this, I got to give it to her. She told the truth. And this, it goes to something you immigrants, all the disrespect, because this is going on, especially with all these deportations that are happening. Trump just signed something that, well, he revoked the visas of, I think, 85,000 Nigerians, and he's been on the Somalians recently also. Hey, and it was Jake all along that was like, hey, you all forgot about the Rainbow Coalition and all that shit. Everybody was like, fuck you. Jake has always extended their hands out, but you people came over here and there's several videos on this, just look it up on YouTube, and your whole agenda was to just take. You were never interested in forming any alliances or anything. So now, look what's happening. And Ann Coulter is going to go into, again, it's going to be a very brief video, but she's going to point to, they said all this, was initially for the descendants of slaves, 13th, 14th especially, which, 15th Amendments, and how the 14th Amendment has been used. And these, you have to understand, are the machinations of your Democrats that our people fell in love with for whatever reason. And they've been playing our people all along. Both parties have, actually. This is not our rest, to put it, simply put it. This place was a place of punishment. It has to go. So here, I'm going to go ahead and run the video.
No, I think civil rights are for blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans
What have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country. That's why the Democrats are dropping the blacks and moving on to the Hispanics, because they're large.
And that's exactly what Biden and them were trying to do. Kick us to the curb. Bring in a whole nother demographic. Well, to be, they're already here, but just to increase their numbers. And I'm talking about the so-called Hispanics, Latinos. All right. Northern Kingdom. Because trust me, they know who we all are. So this is, again, in an effort to play us against each other. And you see that. The sad thing about it is, too, you see a lot of these conservatives, a lot of them are brown people. You have your East Indians, but they're not our people, but, Elam. But you have a lot of Northern Kingdom. Think of Fuentes, Nick Fuentes. Think of the leader of the Proud Boys. These are, unless he's, a tear. Fuentes could be a tear. I just got to look at his whole family. His father is rumored to be an Ish. All right, so, all these people, and I think someone else said in that video that Fuentes has to know that eventually they're going to turn on him. All right, at least from the way he's talking recently. But anyway, let's finish this out. And she's telling the truth, and, they don't want to do that because you have to know the one thing that, among many, but the one thing that J. Edgar Hoover said, what was the thing that the U.S. government was most fearful of? And it wasn't, the external threats. It was so-called black unity. All right. Think of all the towns and things that we did to, or I should say, for ourselves, and an attempt to do for ourselves, and it was all sabotage. Why? And all you hear, is, well, you have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and all this other shit. And then they go ahead and pull this shit with CBS, and this woman, damn it, what is her name? I was mentioned on the last video, but they're firing all the Jakes. And it's not like there's going to be any, as far as I can see, right to redressal, because they did away with the Civil Rights Division, I think, in the Justice Department. So who are you going to complain? I mean, this is, wow, man, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Let's finish this out.
Group of Hispanics now, but the reason people are concerned about the words they use, the reason Americans care about civil rights, the reason we are sensitive to racism is for one issue and one issue only, and that is how black Americans were treated in this country. It is because of the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow.
There you go. That's why reparations are due. These things that were promised for you assholes, all right, that come over here, all right, and want to sit at the table that's been prepared by someone else. And here you come, all right, and it's just the sad thing about it is, Jake was not even thinking like that. All right, it's just over the years to just outright disrespect of people coming over here and just like, oh, you lazy, you need to work harder, and all that other shit, And it's like, okay, now, you're coming from countries that everybody resembles you, all right, for the most part. And now you're coming over here, and we were trying to tell you, we don't want to have anything to do with you, because why? Because you were told by guess who, and shown, and this is what he did around the world to try to impugn Jake's character, all right, and it worked. It worked. All right, and a lot of you, when you got over here, you were like, you've seen, well, I've seen videos where Cushites just came out and said, this is not what we, Moab lately, oh man, they've been going, Moab has been making videos because they were used to, by these so-called white supremacists. Ed Blum, I'm thinking of particularly. Moab was used to get affirmative action done away with. on the lie that, you know, the blacks in there, in these prestigious universities, they're in your way, and you believed it, and now you can't get in. So it's like, duh, you dumb motherfuckers. All right, but yeah, because you took on and sided with white supremacy, so-called. Now look at you, and all the people that had experience with them folks for so very long were trying to tell you, hey, uh, it's not what it seems. They're gonna turn on you, but you didn't want to hear it. All right, you didn't want to hear it. But she's right. You know, this is all, and they know. They've always known. All right, but are they going to um, cut the check, so to speak? No, because as sick and twisted as it may seem, they actually need us. It's like some twisted symbiotic relationship. Think about what this place would be without us, and they don't dare want to deal with that.
Do not compare Irish, and the new groups, they always get a little bad treatment. Do not compare that to how blacks are treated in this country. You don't get to piggyback on the black experience in America.
Like so many have done coming over here, even the LGBTQ crap. And it was allowed primarily by, guess who? The Democrats. Because we've always tried to tell you, both of these parties are against us. But the one that was rubbing elbows with you was the most dangerous of all, and that was them Democrats. A, because they're white supremacists, and they don't want to see their white privilege go. It's so sad our people have just, let me get one scripture that comes to mind. Let's see. Let's go to let's go to Daniel 9, I think, start, because there is a thing called cause and effect. All right. Why we're suffering like we're suffering. This is Daniel chapter 9, Daniel's prayer for his people. All right. And I'm going to go down here and start with 5. And this is the cause. It says, I started 4, and I prayed unto the Most High, Yahweh my God, and made my confession and said, O Most High, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandments, which, of course, we didn't. We have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets. And that's another thing that's, everybody else wants to hear what they think is the word of God, because they've got white Jesus in their minds, and a God as a result of Edomite / white supremacy. All right. Like it tells you in Revelation 20th chapter, he deceived the whole world. Look what they did since the time of Columbus. All right. And using religion and putting their faces in our book as to say, well, if there is a Most High and heavenly host, they all look like them. And nothing could be further from the truth, as everybody's finding out. So they have lied and deceived the whole world. All right. It says, neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets. See, everybody wants to hear except for Jake. Jake still has that image of Jesus in his head and will refuse to listen. They want to go to Islam, which is another ripoff. All right. Which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth to thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off. This is telling you here, all right, because you got that Gentile issue that is greatly misunderstood. All right, and which is what it's referring to here. It's still talking about Israelites, but that are far off. All right, that were considered heathen. All right, because they grew up in other communities and took on the customs thereof. All right, or other nations. All right, it says through all the countries whither thou hast driven them. All right, James 1:1, and that's part of the curses, Deuteronomy 28. And 64, we were scattered, all right, throughout all the nations. It says, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our God belong mercy and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him, all right. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Most High Yahweh our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. You still have the 2/3, and the 2/3 are going to be the 2/3. All right, and we're out here, all right, because it's commanded of us to go out here and be that watchman on the wall and to tell you these things, whether you choose to hear or forbear. Ezekiel 3rd chapter, all right. All right. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And here's my point. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Not the issues they had to stage, they had to lie about certain events that happened in World War II to try to fit the prophecies, which they do not. They knew who we were when they financed the transatlantic slave trade. That was the whole purpose behind it, get us out of the way. And Jake does not realize that. Another point to that is these people can never be allowed to prosper, because we do not want them to get back in any kind of power.
You do not get to do that just because you are a woman, an immigrant, gay, Hispanic. No, the rest of you can go F yourselves.
See that?
Oh, you got to give it to her. She speaks her mind. She speaks her mind. And you can see these comments. Let's get some of these comments. I'm a 77-year-old black American, and I approve this message. She wasn't scared to say it like most of them. This is the conversation they never wanted to have. Exactly. They never wanted to have it. All right. Oh, that's real. Don't piggyback on the black experience. Period. All right. All right. Without our struggles, nobody else would even be able to come here. Duh. '53, black male, Mississippi born, Mississippi raised, and my approval rating for this message is through the roof. Was treated, still treated. So you have all these people from the South, Mid-South, you know, Tennessee, Louisiana here says, I'm a black American woman, 66 years old. Levant, Louisiana, approve this message. Black South African, and I approve this message. So across the pond, so to speak. I'm a 76-year-old black woman, and we are the authors of the Civil Rights Movement, and you, all of you, will not piggyback off our torture. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's going to be it. And I said it was going to be short, by my standards anyway. But, yeah, that about says it all. Don't have anything else to add to. But this shit is coming to an end, thankfully. Because like I said, and several other videos of mine, they're ramping things up, all right? Like I said, in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, he knoweth he hath but a short time. All right, they see all these signs. They see what's happening, the celestial events, the signs, other things that are happening, weather-related and otherwise, geopolitical. It's over for these bastards, all right? And there's no coming back. So that's why they're going to fight so hard, all right? Again, Revelation 12 and 12. All right. So with that, again, I'd like to remind everyone to pay close attention to where you are and who you're around. Remain circumspect and continually pray. As the scriptures say, pray always. So with that, until the next video, shalom.